Hello, can you hear me? We're gonna get this show on the road. It will just take me a couple of minutes to go live, um, because it takes me a little bit of time just to. I'm using a new piece of software here, so you'll have to bear with me for a second or two. But it looks like I'm here. You can see me, so cool. How's this working? Okay, so I don't normally use Google Hangouts, so this is kind of a new thing for me. I've done a couple of streams for iChess before on Google Hangouts, but I normally use Twitch. And if you were lucky enough or unlucky enough to witness my stream last night, let's just say it was interesting. I think I streamed for something like 8 hours last night, and it was a very amusing night. So, okay, anyway, what we're going to look at today, and this is really a free lesson. You're getting a free lesson with a grandmaster, and basically, I'm going to show you a concept which fits into a course I've just done. And to start with, obviously you're on the iChess channel, and I've just completed probably my biggest ever project in chess. And my biggest ever project is a 16-hour course I've just done for iChess. Now, I've been playing top level chess for 20 odd years. I've been playing for over 30 years, regularly competitive level, world under something championships. I'm a grandmaster. And in this course, it's my biggest ever work I've done, and it's the most effort I've put into anything. And I'm really proud of what I've created. So before we go into the lesson, no sound I'm hearing. Okay, no sound. Can you not hear me? Let me just see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let's do this. Can you hear me? Let's just get confirmation. And I'm aiming to do 1 hour, but it could be a bit longer. So can you hear me? Can you see me? Let's get some confirmation. I don't want to just talk to myself like a crazy schizophrenic Guns N' Roses fan. Let's not do that. I want to share my knowledge with you. Okay, so you can hear me. And you can. Okay, brilliant. Okay, just wanted to confirm that. So I'm going to give you a lesson for free in a second. But part of the idea of this stream is to encourage you, of course, to buy this course I've just made. And I'm just going to talk about this before I go into the lesson. Now, I've done so many things in my life chess-wise. I've created lots of DVDs, 20 DVDs. I've written 7 books. I've taught world champions and various people. But the course that I made for iChess, which you can purchase below, and if you want to support me and support the things I do in chess, then please do purchase this. And you've only got another 24 hours to get it at half price. And what I did in this course, this 16-hour course, I basically tried to teach the guys out there and the girls out there who don't have a lot of time to spend all their life preparing chess. Look, I mean, I want to go and see Guns N' Roses, and I did see them a couple of weeks ago, hence the shirt. I want to do other things. I don't want to spend 5 hours an evening just looking at chess. And in my life, I've kind of, from experience, learned shortcuts to becoming a very strong player. And you've got to look and analyze the right things. And I had to do this through trial and error myself. So it's taken me 20 years to get this. But in my 16-hour course, I'm giving you those secrets which I learned the hard way. So 16 hours, I think, for $75, when it's taken me tens of thousands of pounds, I think it's a pretty good deal. So before we go on to the lesson of the Rook Swinger, which we'll go on to, let me just show you now basically the contents of the course. I'll go into the lesson and I'll tell you how the lesson here relates to my course. And then you'll get a free lesson of a grandmaster. I mean, I think normally I'd charge something like $100 at least for an hour's lesson nowadays. So to do this, quick question: does course require computer or just DVD player? Computer. You download the files. You can buy it below, and you download the files. It's a very good price, like I say, and you download it to your computer. You can even watch it on your iPad. You can watch it on your phone. It's very easy. It's very relaxed. You can lay in bed. You can drink a beer and watch it. What's better than that? And you can if you pay, I think, a little bit extra, you get the DVDs as well. So it's got everything. But let me just show you the layout of this course. So like I said, this is one of the first times I've been using Google Hangouts. So you know, you have to bear with me a second or two, and let's have a look. So okay, is this now working? Let's have a look. Is this working or not? I'm hoping I've managed to do something here. How is this? No, that doesn't look good, does it? That's my Google Hangouts thing is not. I'm still not a master at this application at the moment. Okay, but you can have a look at the contents, and to speak very briefly about the contents. Okay, I'm seeing it. Is it buffering? Hopefully this is still streaming okay. It seems to be streaming at my end okay. Let's have a look. Okay, it seems to be working. So yeah, I mean, basically what I've done with this course, and I have to say it's 16 hours, but every hour of this course has probably taken me 20 hours of preparation plus a lifetime experience, because I don't want to I don't want to skimp on what I do. I'm a perfectionist, and if I ever release anything for that I don't like, then I'll feel disgusted with myself. So what I've done with this, I've done 16 hours, but each hour basically has 3 or 4 videos 20 minutes long. So I've tried to keep it snappy. First chapter, building a solid foundation. So all that means is, look, for me, my dad taught me a bit of chess, but in order to learn, lots of people learn the wrong things when they're playing chess. They do. They look at the wrong things. They don't learn the right things. You can look at, for example, you might start learning the kind of openings which don't suit your style. So the first chapter of this course is really geared at trying to find what suits you and getting you to learn in the right way, which is the first step to anything. If you learn in the wrong way, it's not going to work well. The second chapter is on the secrets I've learned on how you can play openings of white. Same with chapter 3. Chapter 4 is how you progress from the opening into the middle game, and this is something I do not talk about in books. In books, if you buy a chess book, which is good, they normally just have variations, but they don't tell you about the ideas that you should be learning from the openings you're playing. And one of the things I do in this course, and this is my secret kind of shortcut idea, is that you can save so much work if you basically just keep things simple. And if you know from move 1 what kind of middle game and end game position you want to get, you need to know this. Nobody does this, and I give you tips how to do that. I also talk about launching a good attack, when to trade pieces and why you should trade pieces, how to go about thinking about positions. I look about maneuvering pieces to win. I talk about tactical play, how you can improve your calculation. I talk about knowing your opponent, because chess is a game of 2 sides, and this is another element of the game that people totally neglect. They only think about their own ideas, not their opponents. How crazy is that? Chess is a game of 2 players. Absolutely bonkers just to think of your own games. I look at talking about defensive play, the right way to defend, even endgames, learning endgame instinct, essential endgames you need to know, and also the most important thing, why are we here? Have some blooming fun. That's what life's about. And chess has really saved me as a character in some respects. It's given me a leash of life. It's given me an artistic pursuit. And this is something I want to get across to you as well. During this 16-hour course, I get across to you that it's fun. It's fun, and I want you to improve. Now, what kind of rating boundary is this course for, should I say? Well, I would say it's pretty flexible, but I'm really aiming it up to sort of 2,300. So anything from 1,200 up to 2,300. And I try to always in my videos, my work, really cover as much as I can. But I think it's an ideal thing for those of you who don't have a lot of time to learn, maybe 1 hour a day, 1 hour a week. How do you use that hour in the right way? Let's say you put 1 hour a week aside. I think this course can help you get better. Okay, well, enough of that now. So that's what the course I'm selling here is about. And like I said before, my learning style, I think, hopefully you can see that I put my love into what I do. At the same time, I try to teach you, stuff as well. So it's a combination of love and teaching. And I really, if you want to support me, please do buy the DVD. It's in the link below. That will help me. I need to pay the rent. We always need to pay rent and stuff, and that will really help me. And I'm here to help you as well. Okay, right. Enough of that. So, what is my kind of teaching technique? Well, the thing I try to teach generally is about patterns. Chess is a game of patterns. It's a game of patterns. It's, let's not overcomplicate it. Why should we be trying to be intellectually superior than anyone else? It's a game of patterns. And you've got to understand when to put patterns into process at the right time. So I'm going to bring up now the chessboard, and you're gonna lose my lovely or horrible face, whichever way you want to perceive it. And let me just bring up the chessboard. Hopefully this will work. Let's see if this works. Is that working? I hope so. I hope so. So we have a chessboard here, and I'm just going to show you what I mean. So basically, I'm just going to confirm. I'm just going to give me a second, because I don't use Google Hangouts. Okay, you can see the chessboard. Hopefully that looks okay to you. And I'm going to show you an example of what I mean by patterns and how you should improve. Okay, the board is up. Good stuff. So this is a game that Vishiwan Anand played with the black pieces. We all know how strong Anand is, hopefully. It's very strong. By the way, thank you for how do I say that? Fakore, for downloading the DVD. That's very kind of you, and it is there to help you improve and get better at chess. That's my main goal in a fun way, because chess is a bit of rock and roll as well. Okay, so let me just show you what happened here. Imagine you're black. So what I want you to do, when I'm going through these examples, I want you to imagine that you're taking the place of the person who's the bottom of the screen. So in this case, you are black. Now, the title of this lesson I've kind of given away. It's called the Rook Swing. So you might know the idea. But imagine you were black here. What should you be trying to do? What plan should you be trying to do? And a classical mistake is that so many players get lost for plans. And you need to have your plans basically prepared. You need to understand what you're doing from the opening into the middle game, so everything clicks as a piece. And thank you, Matthew, for buying the course, who's saying he's enjoying it. So don't just tell me one move. I'm watching the chat now. So hello, Clint Killer. Hello, James Munro, who I know are regulars. Hello, Joshua, and hello, everyone else. But I want you to tell me a plan. How do you improve this position as black? Now, this is Anand. I'm going to show you how this influenced my own games, how you should learn. So what you should do, you should look at the games of top players, and you should pick up the ideas and put them into your own games. So what idea, okay, I have a principle that basically a bad plan is better than no plan. I like that plan, James Munro. You're a man of my own mind. Checkmate. Very good plan. I like that. So how can we do that? Let's just, okay, what you should look at in the position is, do you have any checks? Do you have any captures? If not, try to create some threats. Do you have time to create threats? Well, in this position, you do, because white's not really doing anything here. There's no threats against you, so you need to create threats. So where do you look on the board to create threats? What I always do, I look where my most advanced pawn is. I've got two advanced pawns here. I've got one on a5, one on e5. So I want to base my play around my most advanced unit, like war. It's not going to be based around a5, because I don't really, there's nothing going on there. But e5 is a strong pawn in the center. So a very natural way to improve as black, as a lot of you are getting the right idea. Well done for you who've got the right move. Well done, everyone. Well, bishop d7 first, so you might as well develop the last piece. And now f5. So this is the right idea. Now we've got two pawns coming up. Two pawns. And these pawns control a lot of central squares. But very importantly, when you move your f pawn, we have this idea we're going to look at, the rook swinger. Rook swinger. So how do we get the rook swinger in? Well, let's have a look. White now played king h1. So white is struggling for a plan. If your opponent ever plays a move like that in your own games, you should be thinking, well, hang on a minute, my opponent is not really doing anything. My opponent's done this move, king h1. That's clearly not causing me any danger. So I have time to put a long-term operation into use. And now we have queen to e8 first. This is a very nice idea because black is trying to get the pieces eventually over towards the white king, because black has this strength and this space advantage in the center and on the king side. So queen e8, good move. b3 played, and again, your opponent plays a move like b3. Whenever your opponent plays a move, ask yourself, what is that move doing? Clearly b3 is not doing anything, so we have time. And now the most important move, rook f6. And this is what this whole lesson is about. The rook is swinging around, and this is the rook swinger. So when can you do the rook swinger? When is this a good idea? Well, generally, you can only do the rook swinger when you have enough time and you're not under threat of attack, because it takes a lot of time to do. When should you do the rook swinger? Well, why do you do the rook swinger? You do the rook swinger to line up against your opponent king and simply basically create threats against it. Because if I get my rook to h6, and if I get my queen over here, boom, checkmate. James Monroe, you'd like that one, wouldn't you? Checkmate is the end of the game. And it's a very nice technique to use and remember. And you do this, really, you have to move your f-pawn. So the first stage of what we're doing, you move the f-pawn, you move the rook, you swing the rook over, you checkmate, you finish the game, you go to the bar, happy days. So let's have a look how the game continued. f4. But this is a mistake, f4, because every pawn move in chess weakens a square. What does f4 weaken? Well, it weakens e3. It weakens this diagonal. And this is a mistake from white. So keep thinking what you'd play as black in this position. Well, in this position, black just continued with rook h6. So a little question to you guys out there. Bishop takes e3, looks like it wins a pawn. But why is that actually a mistake? Let's get you involved and give me a chance to have a sip of water there as well. Why is bishop takes e3 a mistake? Why is that actually a mistake? Pios has said he will go to the bar before a game of chess. Well, okay, each to their own, Pios. I only recommend it after the game. I don't recommend going to the bar before the game in my video. But let's have a look. Let's get you involved. Why is that a mistake? What can white do here? Why is taking a pawn a mistake? Well, I think Piers or Charles, can I just call you Charles? That's probably easier for me to pronounce, has got the right idea. Well done, Duncan. Well done, Chess Blades. Well done, Klimt Killer. And well done to everyone who's found the right move. And this is a mistake because you allow your opponent to gain counterplay. And before, white didn't have any counterplay, but now he's starting to get his pieces active. Don't allow your opponent to have all the fun. That's not cool. You're the one who's got to have the fun, not your blooming opponent. And here, white is having all the fun because now you have to move your bishop and boom, boomtown. The center explodes. White's bishops have been released. White's rook comes in the game. Happy days for white, not for you. So clearly taking that pawn's a mistake. So what did black do? Black just did the rook swinger. Rook h6. And this move is really starting to put the pressure against white's king. So white now played e4. And now the bishop, look how strong that bishop is. That bishop is like a shotgun shooting across the board. So what would you play now? Okay, so what would you play now? There's quite a lot going on in the center, is there not? But let's think how we can try to create threats, or if we have a good check or a good capture. So what would you play now? What would you play now? And while you think about that, I'm just going to say the course that I've done, and, you know, like I say, you guys can all help me by buying the 16-hour course, and you can buy it now below on the click. You can even watch this video and you can get ready to get the mailing list. All the links are there. All the links are there, but 50% off. and I think it's, you know, obviously I'm going to say worth the price. But why would you buy this course? Because it's aimed at helping your play, and you've only got one more day, 24 hours to get it at half price. Then it will double the price. So you're running out of time. Most of you finding the right move. Blazer Row. Hello, Blazer Row. Woohoo! One of my favorite joiners of my streams, Blazer Row's joined in. Hello, Blazer Row. And well done, Lasker, and well done everyone else who's got the right idea. You need to create threats if you have time. How do you create a threat here? Queen G6, because now Queen takes G3 is a very strong threat. I will say to Blazer Row, as you've helped me out so much in the past, me and Fiona, we just to let you know, you are going to have an invite to a very exclusive event going on in London at the moment. Well, not at the moment, in November. So I hope you can make that, Blazer. It'll be good. It's going to be a meet and greet, and anyone who buys the course here has a good chance of getting an invite as well. I'm very flexible guy. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So Queen takes G6, G3 is the idea. Now let's just imagine that White defends this pawn. So how could White do that? Well, let's have a think. Well, in the game, he plays taking on E5. So we now, okay, take here. But let's have a look if he defends it with something like, let's try Queen to this square. Queen to E1. So he's defending against the threat, but you have got your pressure in now. How should Black now continue? So White's defended against your threat. Anyone see a good plan here? Anyone see a good cheeky plan here? Scott Morgan, you're on fire as well, sir. You're on fire. You are on fire. Okay, I see we have a question there from Turkey saying E4 for tactical and C4 for slow players. Well, if you buy my course, you'll know about this. I can't really, talk too much about this here because it's only quite a short sort of lesson. But you know, the whole thing about picking the right openings is something I talk about in the course. Okay, so we have an idea of Queen H5. Threatening checkmate. I like threatening checkmate. I suppose White could play H3 and stop that. I kind of like some idea here myself, like pawn takes E4, because it opens up the bishop. And I think a couple of people suggested this. And if pawn takes E4 now, what is my idea? Black to play and win. Who is a tactical genius out there? Come on, tactical geniuses. Wakey, wakey. Klimt Killer, you are a tactical genius. Richard, well done, Richard, as well. I'm just going to have a little drink of water there. And it is now forced checkmate. So basically, when I think about positions which are heating up, this position here is clearly heating up. There's a lot going on. I always try to, this is when it gets tactical. You don't need to do this in positional positions or the start of the game. But we'll go back to the position in a minute. But I just wanted to put it on me because this is what you should be doing when the position starts to turn on fire, when it starts to get spicy. You should, first of all, the first thing you should do is look at those checks. Look at the forcing moves, because maybe those moves will win. And then you should go down the list of things you should do. What's next? You should create threats. Create threats. And you should go down. If you haven't got any good checks, any good captures, you can't create threats, improve your pieces, improve your position. But here it is actually checkmate. So let's go back to the position and see how it's checkmate. Rook takes H2, the end of the rook swinger. And the point of this move is that White only has one idea, king takes. Now we can see why it was so important to get rid of the pawn on F5. We have Queen H5 or Queen H6 check, Bishop H3, only move, and Queen takes Bishop is checkmate. Boom! As they say, sometimes put that in your pipe and smoke it. So, okay, so let's have a look how the game ended, because we've got plenty more games to get through. Well, it ended pawn takes E5, Queen takes G3, and the whole point is this rook swinger is the key element that's made this attack work for Black. And now, after this, White resigned, because it's as easy as that. Last question for you. If White plays H3, because he's threatened with checkmate, how does Black win in this position? How does black win in this position? Black to play and win. This should be a reasonably simple one. Black to play and win. What should black play here? And while you're thinking of that, one thing, like I say in the course, and remember, you've only got one more day to get this course at half price, is I talk about patterns, and you can use the patterns and how you remember a pattern, even from someone else's game, and put it into your own game. And I'm going to show you exactly from my own experience how I did this. Well, okay, most of you got the right idea. Congratulations. Rook takes h3. And another reason this works so well is because the bishop on b6 is so strong. And after bishop takes, queen takes, it is checkmate. Boom! And I would recommend that you say boom to your opponent when you give a checkmate, you know, just for the effect. I'll tell you what, if any of you buy the course and then you win because of something you learned in the course, and then you say to your opponent when you win, boom, I will personally I will pay for the course. How about that? I'll pay for the course if I ever meet you. So there you go. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Checkmate. Boom. Okay, so I saw this game, and one thing I go about in my course is when you see a pattern, if you look at, you've got to recognize what makes things work. So when you see a game of a top player, you've got to think, why did that player win? And, you know, again, from experience, I can give you these shortcuts. The reason black won in this game is because of the and that's not a snake, that's a rook swinger. So now, how did I actually use this in my own games? Why is this irrelevant at all? Well, now we're going to show you how this happened in my own game. So, okay, well, here is a game where I played against basically a very strong player from, I think he's from Sweden. And my opponent in this game was 2602, so good rating. And this is a very strong tournament in the Isle of Man. It was played about 10 years ago, I think, maybe a bit longer. And I won the best game prize for this game. So obviously it worked out quite well. And we're just going to look at this position now and look at it from the black side, because I was black. And we're not going to go into the opening, because it's not important. But one thing you should realize is that I've moved my f-pawn, and I have a lot of ideas here. I have a lot of ideas. But I mean, one thing I recommend to everyone is get a chess magazine, look at games, look at chess games of top players. Try to basically judge a position from the middle game without knowing the backup before that. Because here, how do you judge this position? And again, this is something I talk about in the course, which is only available for another, well, even less, 12 hours before the price doubles. So get it now. And what you have to do is, first of all, look at the pawn structure. And first of all, the pawn structure is like your skeleton. So the pawn structure here, I would say, is quite unbalanced. It's not symmetrical. I have more pawns in the center, but my opponent has pawns potentially on the queen side. And let's look at now. You look at the pieces. So let's look at the pieces now. Well, my opponent has a very nice diagonal. So I might be thinking about blocking that up. This is what you should be thinking all the time when you look at positions. But my queen is very active. My knight is quite annoying over here on h5. It might better jump in. My bishop on b7 has a lot of potential. So I'm happy about these pieces. And what I was doing here, what was I thinking? Well, I was thinking there's not so much I can do with my pawns, because I don't see any good plan, any pawn break. So then I think, can I capture? Can I check? Can I create a threat? And I saw a way of creating a threat after my opponent castled and improving my pieces. So all I did, very simple. My queen is good. I don't need to do anything with my queen. My knight is good. It's near my opponent's king. My bishop is good. My knight on d7 is okay. My rook on a8 is not great. And my rook on f8 is not great. So I'm just looking at my pieces. Which of my pieces is not good? Well, of course here, because the pawn is on f5, what is the plan? It's the rook swinger. Rook f6. And what this does is improve a piece, and I'm aiming to bring my rook to one of these two squares, get more firepower on my opponent's king, create some threats, Boom, boom, boom. My opponent now tried knight h3. So I played rook g6. I'm creating a threat. I'm creating a threat of queen takes knight because the pawn is pinned to the king. So I think this is a lot better, by the way, Marco, than knight to e5. Marco's suggesting knight to e5. But look how dangerous the position's already come for my opponent after just 2 moves. I haven't really done anything in this position. Well, thank you so much, Blazero, for buying the DVD. That's very kind. And I would say it's more of a course than a day-by-day, this one. And I've had very good feedback from people who've watched the course already. They're saying, it's good feedback. So I'm really happy with the feedback. And a lot of people are saying, good things. And I really think it will help your chess. But what I do is look at patterns in my course, trying to make things simple. Okay, so my opponent here played knight to f4. And now I just played rook to h6 because now I'm trying to create a threat on h2. My opponent went back to h3. I went rook g6. Why am I doing this? Why am I repeating position? Isn't that a silly thing to do, you may ask? Is it not silly to repeat a position? Well, chess is a mind game. It's a mind game. So if you can prove to your opponent that you're the boss, if you're literally saying, look, I'm going to repeat the position, if you can do that and show your opponent who the boss is and then decide not to repeat, psychologically you're going to get an advantage, surely. So it's worth doing, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. So rook g6, knight to f4 was now played. Thank you, Herv, who has also brought the course. So thank you very much. That's very kind of you, and anyone who buys the course, I'm in debt to you. So thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, and yes, I can help a patzer like you, Robert. I'm a patzer at times as well. That's what I'm, but I'm a GM patzer. Is that an oxymoron, possibly? I don't know. Anyway, so here, I'm not going to take a draw, so now I decide to take on f4. So what do? It's going back to the position, the thing I said earlier. When the position's starting to heat up, and it is starting to heat up, because I've got potentially 3 pieces attacking, you look for any checks. So let's do the little list I said earlier. And remember the list I said? I said checks. Then if there's no good checks, what do you do next? Captures. If there's no good captures, what's next? Threats. Try to create threats, because chess is a game of threats. If you create too many threats, your opponent may mess up. So here, I didn't have a good check. I didn't have a good capture, but I did have a good threat. Rook h6. Threatening check here. My opponent plays rook h3, and now I create another threat. My rook comes back. Every pawn move makes a weakness. This pawn move here has made a weakness. He's weakened this square because now I'm threatening queen takes pawn. So my opponent now goes king to h1. Have I got any good checks? No. Have I got any good captures? No. Have I got any way to create a threat? Yes. Queen g3. And that is what we call a blooming big threat. And my opponent, how does he defend? Only one move, rook to g1. So, okay, let's give you a question here. What would you guys play? So do the little thing I told you. Look, is there a good check? Is there a good capture? Is there a threat? This is what you should be looking for in that list. Can you capture something? Can you check? Well, check first, capture. If not, threat. So come on, guys. How can you create a threat here? So think, if you were black here, what would you play? Richard, well done. Marco, well done. Charles, well done. Rainbow Snowball. Sunny, well done. You guys are rocking and rolling. And what is the idea of this move? Well, the idea, let's say white goes, oh yeah, I'm going to get my bishop on a very good diagonal here. Woohoo! Well, that would be embarrassing, because this is the kind of move which you play. And what you do when you play a move like that, boys and girls, you go, boom, boom, put that in your pipe and smoke it. That's what you say. That's what you do. And look how that move works so well. It's such a lovely move. Pawn takes, queen takes, boom, checkmate. So obviously my opponent didn't play bishop b2. My opponent instead played rook d1, because he has to give his king an escape square. Like I said, I'd love it if you guys say boom during your own games. If you buy the course, win a game and say, boom, well, look, I'll at least buy you a drink. Maybe I'll give you the course back. Come on. We've all got to make a living, haven't we, somehow? And this, you know, if you buy the course here and there's a link below now, and you've only got a little bit of time to get this course. You've only got a little bit more time at half price, and it's going to go. It'll be double the price. If you do buy this course, it will help me out a lot, and you will learn. And, you know, there's a lot of things to help you there. Okay, so now, what should black play now? Okay, so now I'm going to build on what I just said earlier. Okay, checks. Is there any good checks? If there's not, frets. No, sorry, checks, captures. Is there any good captures? If not, frets. I'm moving lower, as I said. If you can't see a way to create a fret, what do you do next? I gave you the hint earlier on in the last game. You look at your pieces, and you look at the pieces which are merely being lazy so-and-sos. Imagine you work in a warehouse, and I actually used to work in a warehouse. Cool, I've had a number of weird jobs in my life. I've worked in a warehouse. I even used to be a cleaner. I worked on an estate, a really rough estate, where I had to stop working because I got attacked when I was cleaning. And this is a horrible story, but, you know, this is, you know, we've all struggled in life, and that's why I'm happy to be doing what I'm doing. And I'm so happy to be doing this rather than cleaning. But I worked on an estate in England, and it was a part-time job. And, you know, I was just trying to get some money so I could do things in my life. And I had to pick up litter. And the first day of this job, there was lifts on this estate going up and down, and the person who said to me, okay, you've got this job, you're picking up litter, you've got to clean up the place. And they basically said to me, okay, by the way, when you go in the lift, Simon, when you press a button, make sure you wear gloves. And I'm like, why do I have to wear gloves to go in a lift? That's a bit weird. And they said, well, this is not a very nice story, so I'm sorry if it's, you know, upset some of you, but the person said, well, some people have taken out the buttons that you press and put dirty syringes in there. I mean, horrible. So I've done a lot of rubbish jobs. And what I'm saying is, you know, if there was like 4 cleaners working on this estate, let's say 3 of the cleaners. So let's go back to the position now. So what I mean by 3 of the cleaners, and we're just going to go back now. Hopefully this will work. Let's say three cleaners that are working very well. The Queen is a very good cleaner. The Rook's a very good cleaner because they're doing a good job. They're pulling their weight. They're making their money. The Bishop's quite a good cleaner, but have a look at the Rook here. That's a rubbish cleaner. That Rook is falling asleep. That Knight is falling asleep. So the next thing you do, if you can't have a good check, if you don't have a good capture, you look at your pieces which aren't doing anything, your Rook and your Knight, and you get them into the game. Boom! Okay, so what is the move here? What would you play if you were black, and why? Every move has to have a reason. So don't just tell me a move. Tell me the reason. Tell me the reason. What is the reason? And yes, this is the Dutch defense, by the way. Well guessed there. Well guessed there. This is the Dutch defense because we've done the Rook swinger. And what is the move and why? Well, I see that Pagler Bai is suggesting Rook takes h3 check. Now, good idea, but it doesn't work because if I play this is one of the first moves I'd think of. But after check, Queen takes. Realistically, we've only got one piece attacking here, and one piece attacking is not enough. The White King is going to run away like the wimp it is and get out of danger. So we can't do that yet. We need to bring in the reinforcements. And I see that you're getting the right ideas now. You're getting the right ideas. You either bring in the Knight or the Rook. Now, I think it's Soren who recommended bringing the Rook like this, a double Rook swinger. Very good idea. I tried a different idea, Knight to f6, because I wanted to bring in a piece. I wanted to improve my pieces, get more ammunition on my opponent. My opponent now played Queen to e1. And first of all, if it was black's move here, so let's imagine it's black's move. So I'm going to say white does a move like Rook b1. What is a very good move for black? And remember, every move I try to play in chess has a reason. What was the reason with me putting the knight there? Why did I put the knight there? It's black to move. What would be an incredibly strong move after something along the lines of rook b1? Colton, well done. Paz does well done. But actually, Colton's got a much better idea. Knight g4. Look at that. Boom. Boom. And what can this is threatening queen h2 checkmate, and we all like to threaten checkmate now and again, do we not? And what can white play? White can't take with the h pawn, it's pinned. And if white takes with this pawn, say hello to my little friend. Queen takes g2, checkmate. Boom! Look at that. That's checkmate. So this is a massive threat, and it's just about bringing in the reinforcements. So instead of this, my opponent played queen e1. Now, remember the 5th of November. Is that actually, is that an expression? I don't know. I think it is. So, okay, it's black to play. So what do you do when it's heating up? You look at the checks. You look at the captures. Checks, if the checks don't work. Captures, if they don't work. Threats, if they don't work. Reinforcements. If you can't bring any reinforcements, if you can't improve your position, take up drafts. Okay, anyway, so here, what should you be doing first? And I'll bring the position back now. The thing you should be doing first is looking at checks first. Is there a good move here, and why? What should black play now? Okay, Charles, you're on fire today, sir. Well done, Charles. You're doing very well today, Charles. I don't really like that suggestion, Loop. Is that Loopaloo R? Resign? What kind of attitude is that? And when you think of this, I'm going to say it again. You can buy my course where I teach in this way for 16 hours. And, you know, I try to go into much detail. I try to do it really concise to really try to help you improve. And remember, the offer is only on till tomorrow. If you look below the window, why don't you just click on the link there? The link there is worth clicking on. And it's 50% off until tomorrow, and then the price goes up. Now, 16 hours for $75, I think that's a pretty good thing. If you're going to get a lesson with a grandmaster, it will cost you about $100 at least an hour. So you're getting 16 hours of lessons for the price of, you know, really, that's a good, blooming good offer. And I try to teach in a fun way, but a way that I really help you. And remember, there's a money back guarantee, which you won't use because you'll blooming love my whole thing. So I'm sure you will. You won't want your money back. But if you don't like it, you get your money back. So you've got all the benefits in the world. Okay, so don't just tell me one move, people. People are suggesting one move. In chess, you need to think further than one move. One move is not going to get you very far in life. You need to think a little bit deeper. Oh, Marco Albert, you are a hero. I want to be a hero till the end of the life. Well done, Marco. And Marco has gone for, boom, it's a check and it's a capture. It should be the first move you're thinking of. Now, why does this now work better? Last time my knight was on d7. Why does it work better now? Because after the only move, my knight now comes to g4, and after knight g4, it's really game over. It's really game over. Chessblades is saying, I beated Simon. I don't think that's very good English. It's meant to be said, I beat. And considering I never been to Delhi in my life, Chessblades, I think you're a little bit of a liar there, I'm going to have to say. I'm sorry to call you out there, Chessblades, but unless you beated me with a stick in your dreams or something, which I hope you didn't, because that's just getting a little bit freaky. Now, knight g4 is a nice move, and it all came from the rook swinger, and it all came from this logical way of thinking. Now, why can't white play pawn takes knight? Because queen to g2 is, I want to hear you say it. 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 Boom! It's a boom move. Let's just say it. There you go. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, dear boy. Dear boy. Okay, so really, the rest of the game is quite easy. And why did this work so well? Because the rook swing was the winning idea. And the game finished it finished. My opponent had to give up his queen because the threat here is queen to h2, and then queen to h1, checkmate. The end of the game. My opponent can't really stop that. If he goes bishop f1, that's checkmate. And the only way he can stop that is by losing his queen. And of course, I went on to win this position because having an extra queen, let me just tell you now, is a pretty handy thing to have in life. And again, it's this rook swinger. So what are we learning so far? Well, I think the key things that we want to learn so far is when you're looking at games, don't just play blitz your whole blooming life. Everyone loves playing blitz chess. It's a lot of fun. Does it help you improve? My instinct is no, it doesn't. Blitz actually can make you a worse player. The only time playing blitz can help you improve is if you want to experiment with new openings. So maybe you're just learning a new opening and you want to try out this opening in some games. Well, you can play this opening in lots of blitz games, but blitz is very artificial because unlike a proper game of chess, what I mean by that, a long play game, blitz is all instinct. It's all instinct. You can't calculate in blitz. In chess, you have to calculate. In blitz, you don't have enough time to. I mean, come on, look, we all play blitz. I'm not saying it's the end of the world. It's not saying it's the end of the world because I love playing blitz. I play far too much. But all I'm saying is it won't help you. What you should be doing is like, you know, just spend a little bit of time. That's all I'm saying. Look at, if you enjoy, do stuff you enjoy. Don't ever learn in a really enjoyable way because that's ridiculous. Always learn chess in a way that enjoys you, that excites you. So I used to get Chess Magazine. And, for example, the Anand game I showed you was in a chess magazine. I was reading the game. I didn't even have a chessboard. And I saw a diagram where Anand played the rook up and across. And what did I do? What should you be doing? You should look at ideas. When you see them in diagrams, you think, what have I learned from that game? Not the moves, but what actually idea have I learned? And in that game, I learned the rook swinger. That stayed with me. And then I was able to play the rook swinger in this game. So you've got to learn ideas and then put them into operation, have them there. The rook swinger will only work when you have enough time. And it only works, obviously, when you're actually doing something in the rook, when you're creating a threat. And Pagla by, yes, chess is a blooming hard game, but if it was easy, it would be boring. We don't want easy in life. We want things to challenge us. So, you know, this is the way to go. And the whole point of my course, and of course I'm doing a little sales pitch here, but I'm giving you a lesson as well, is I'm teaching this way, and I try to make things simple. If you've only got 1 hour a week to improve, if you watch 1 hour a week of this course, I think you'll improve a lot. I really do mean that. Not just saying that. I think it will help you. And remember, you can buy it now below. Click on the link there, support me, help your own chess. You're worth it. Oh my God, I'm such a good salesman, am I? Or maybe I'm just, I don't know. But anyway, I'll stick to chess. Right, I think we'll go for one more rook swinger, and then we will call it a day. Okay, so let's have a look. So let's move on to another game. I'm just going to get one ready for you, and I won't give it away as we go. Where do we go? Rainbow saying he doesn't have the money. Well, look, Rainbow, if you don't have the money, start cleaning it at States. No, I mean, come on, don't worry about it, man, because you know it's you know, there's loads of good free stuff out there. We got this for free. You can check out my YouTube channel. There's loads of good free stuff out there. So, you know, maybe one day you will, but just look for the YouTube stuff. I mean, and things like that. There's loads of ways to improve without, but obviously, you know, sometimes money does help. I'm afraid to say, which is one of the sad factors of life. Okay, right. Well, I'm just going to quickly basically dive into another game I had. So let me bring up the board. And again, this is another one of my own games here. And certain openings, by the way, will allow you to play the rook swinger in a better way. Because obviously, you can't do the rook swinger when the pawn's on f7. So if you're gonna do the rook swinger, you really have to move your pawn to f5. This is stage 1 of the rook swinger. Get your pawn to f5, and then the rook can freely swing across like a very happy monkey. Diedrich is saying, when is Tiger's Modern DVD coming out? Hello, Diedrich. Sorry if I pronounce that wrong. It's still being edited at the moment. It will come out soon. So keep an eye on that on my website if you want to. That's going to be about 5 hours, 6 hours of fun. But again, like I say, if you want to support me at the moment, go and click that blooming link below, the like button. Do it. I'm sure you can. Okay, so first of all, I'm black here, and my opponent has double pawns. It's about an equal position. My opponent's 2100 player, but how did I start an attack? So I'm just going to go through the first couple of moves. I saw a very interesting idea. Now, I'm always looking at my opponent's king, and I'm always looking at ways to have an attack. Richard's saying, if you don't have any money, borrow some off me. Well, look, if enough of you buy the course, I could lend you some, maybe. Well, I'm a professional chess player. That's not very likely. But, you know, if you can buy the course, of course it will help me and it will help you. That's all I'm saying. So I was looking at ways to start an attack. Now, Chess Blades is saying queen to e8 here, a bit like last time, which is a queen swinger. But my queen's not really coming over here or to g6 because it will be here. A better square for my queen. I'm looking at ways here. I'm looking at checks. I'm looking at captures. I can't do any of them. I'm thinking of ways I can start threats. And then I'm looking at my reinforcements. And my reinforcements are my pieces which aren't doing anything, the ones I've highlighted here. And I saw that after knight g4, I have an idea of throwing my queen into the position and threatening this checkmate. Well done, cool freestylers. Cool freestylers. Raka, raka, raka. So I'm going to sing there, and you certainly don't want to hear any more of that. So my opponent now played h3, and I continued with the queen coming in. And my opponent now played this move, and he thought he was okay. So what did I do? Well, I looked for checks. Do I have any checks? I don't have any good checks because I lose my queen. I look for captures. Do I have any good captures? No, they just lose a piece. So what's the next thing you need to do? Come on, guys. Checks. If the checks don't work, if the captures don't work, what was next on the list? What were the next two things? Tell me now. I'm not going to do anything until you type in the chat what you should be doing if the checks and the captures don't work. What was next on my list? Are we going to learn something here? When it's starting to heat up. Only when the positions start. Well done, Charles. You're learning. Frets. Resigns, Scott says. Well, the next on the list. Come on. Checks, captures, frets, try to create frets. And then also around the same area, that just below frets, was look at your pieces which aren't doing anything. So in this position, your rooks, try to bring him in the position, try to create frets. I just actually highlighted that, realizing you can't see the board. So that was my first Grandmaster blunder there. So what I mean here, you can see the board now. The bishop, the rooks here are not doing anything. So I wanted to get them in the game, even if it cost me a piece. So I played rook f6. My opponent took on g4. I took back. I'm sacrificing a piece. And now, look, rook g6, and my attack is starting to brew. When you're attacking against the king, you really should try to get three pieces working. I see someone saying, what about your opponent's threats? Well, you know, your opponent's threats, you always should get in mind of your opponent. I'm also seeing someone saying, have I ever thought about chess boxing? Well, I have actually thought about chess boxing. I've done a bit of boxing in my life, but I'm rather out of shape, and I need to get a bit more into shape before I can do it properly. But maybe one day, who knows? Thank you very much for buying the course. And remember, guys, it's your last bit of time now. I'm stopping this soon. If you want to improve, if you want to get better, buy the course. Okay, so anyway, here, my opponent played f3. I took here, check. And now this is a very key moment because I'm a piece down. And this is now a puzzle position for you. Puzzle position for you. What should black play now? And this is a very hard puzzle to finish on. But we're going to finish on something hard today. What should black play here? What should black play here? Any ideas? Any ideas? Remember, checks. Do the checks help? Well, if I check here, my opponent's actually going to run away, and that might help him. So checks don't help. Captures, no. Create threats. And also in this position, you've got to be, and you've always got to be aware of your opponent's ideas as well. My opponent wants to bring his king to e2. Now, no one has found the right move here. No one. Keep trying, guys. Come on, get the right move. Anyone get the right move? The best bet so far is Fabian saying queen to h5. Good bet. But it might even be a better move than that. I want to stop the king coming here. Anyone see the move? I don't want my opponent to get his king safe. Anyone? Seren, you are a legend. White Shark, legend. Queen to h2. And this was one of my masterpieces games, one of my favorite games I've ever played. I'm threatening checkmate, so my opponent has to take my rook. And now I think he thought I was just going to get a draw. I think my opponent assumed I'm just going to check him with my queen and get a draw. But instead, I have a very strong move here. And it's black to play and force checkmate. That's very kind of you, Blazer, saying buy the course. That's very kind. And I don't think you will regret it. And remember, even if you buy it, you've got a money back guarantee. So just get your money back. It's fine. But you won't want to get your money back, will you? So it's black to play and win here. Now, you've got the right idea, guys, when you're doing, do I have any good checks? No. Do I have any good captures? No. Do I bring in reinforcements? Well, it'd be lovely if you could bring this in. But remember, this is now a little bit slow, because if you bring your rook in, then white is going to play something like queen to f3. So are you sure you don't have any checks or captures? Thank you, Raghar, for buying the course. That's very kind. Come on, guys. Help me out in this times of trouble. Get a course so I can do more free YouTubes. And if you want to shut me up, buy a course. And it's the link below the video there. Please buy a course. You haven't got much time coming. Okay, Rainbow Snowball. You had the right idea. Let's finish it off now. I do have a check. And remember what you're looking for. Checks are top. So the first things you should look for are checks. So in this position, we do have a check. We got this check. Now, why is this a good check? The reason it's a good check is I'm trying to clear off my pawns. I'm trying to lose these pawns so my rook can come to g8 with check. Now here, white really has to take that. Well, okay, if he does take it, then it's black to play and win after check here. How can I force checkmate now? So this is one option. Again, this is calculation. You all need to improve your calculation. Everyone does, including myself, including Magnus Carlsen. Now, Richard, you're looking at this the wrong way. You're looking at this the wrong way. Remember, this position, black to play and win, you need to look at checks first. Look at checks before you look at anything else. Remember, okay, well done, Darius. Well done, JCH. Well done, Rainbow. Well done, Chess Philosopher. You're getting the right idea. You start by looking at checks, and this is a check, and it's a blooming big check. Because if the white king goes to f3, we then go rook to f8, and that is actually checkmate. If white takes there, we can go check, here, check, mate. There you go. And I know it's a little bit complicated, but all we've done, we try to get the rook into the attack with check. So what happened in the game? So let's have a look. So what happened in the game? After this check, my opponent played king h5. So it was now quite easy to win. Black to play and win here. How does black now win? Well, let's look at the checks. Queen check, and now rook check. So we bring in another piece in. King f6. Now let's bring the queen a bit nearer. Queen f5. And here my opponent resigned. Why did my opponent resign? Well, he's only got one move, and it's black to play and checkmate in 3 moves now. How does black force checkmate in 3 moves? So look for the checks. Look for the checks. Black to play and force checkmate. I'll give you a second to catch up here. And then we're getting near to the end of the webinar. By the way, I'm doing another webinar, I think, on Sunday on this same channel. So do make sure you're prepared for that one. I'll try to do something really cool and funky on Sunday. That would be cool. But I'm doing another one on Sunday. Is that right? Yes, Sunday in 2 days' time. Well done, Richard Sorensen. Well done, Marco. Well done, everyone here who's got rook g7 check. The white king has to go all the way here now. Something like here. queen to f7 check, and now there's a number of ways to checkmate. How many checkmates do we have here? We got that one, we got that one 2, we got that one 3, we got that one 4. 4 ways to checkmate, and 4 ways is enough even for a foolish ginger GM like myself. Okay, well, that's just that was a little bit of fun, just showing you some ideas of the rook swing. What do you take away from that? Hopefully you've got the idea when the position heats up, what you should be looking at. When can you play the rook swing? Well, normally the rook swing only works when the position is, oh, what's happened there? Go away, ID card. What are you doing to me, ID card? Why are you, okay. Oh, you can't see the position actually. Let me get a position back, and we'll have a quick look why it worked here. And the reason it worked here is because, okay, let's see where I first did the rook swing and why the rook swing worked. Well, here it's a very normal position. Look how the position really, got more exciting. I look at ways to create threats, and my rook coming around is very natural. Why does it work here? Because I have time. My opponent's not really threatening too much, because I have a pawn and f5, and because I'm trying to create threats. Okay, well, look, we're coming to the end now of this lecture. So let me just see how much more time you've got to get my course. I don't think there's a great deal more time there. So, okay, we're gonna do this now, and let's have a look. How much more time do we have there? Okay, so you still got one more day to get my course, which you can get there. You can see the price there. It's $75, and then it doubles. So it's well worth getting now. Please do get it. It will help me out. It will help you out, I'm sure. And I've really taken a lot of time, and you can see there, that is the contents of the course. I really think it's worthwhile. It's 16 hours of actual really good material. It's my lifetime's work. And this basically this course here, this got me to grandmaster level. It really did. And there you go. You can see the link at the top there, but you've also got the link just below the video you are watching. So you can press the link there. And remember, this is what I'm giving you all the secrets of 20 years. And I'm giving it to you in basically, for $75. So you can, get it. And if you want to see a little freebie of the course, then if you go to the iChess thing, I don't know if the link's there, you can get a freebie. Go to the YouTube channel. There's free videos there, and see if you like it. I'm sure you will, and I'm sure it will help you. So I talk about how you avoid blunders, chess blades in the course. I've run out of time now, so you just have to buy the course to find out how you avoid blunders. What time is the webinar on Sunday? Chess Philosopher's saying, I don't know, to be honest. I think it'll be in the evening again. So in the evening on Sunday, but there'll be an announcement if you check in here. So I'm going to say good night now. It's Friday. I'm quite tired today. I actually did a stream last night with a friend, which lasted, I think I finished streaming at about 6 o'clock in the morning today. So I'm a little bit tired, as you can probably imagine. And I've got a chess tournament tomorrow I'm playing in, so a very strong chess tournament. So I want to get some rest now, and I want to prepare, sleep-wise for that tournament. So I hope you all have an absolutely lovely evening. Blazer Rose saying, what happened to the T-shirts? They're still coming, Blazer Rose. I've just haven't had much time to get them working at the moment. So they will come, Blazer Rose. I'm sure I will get them done. It's one of our next things, and I'll send a free one over to you, Blazer Rose, because you've really helped support me and Fiona, in our activities so much. So I thank you greatly, Blazer Rose, and I thank all of you for tuning in. And I'm going to give a special thanks to obviously everyone who buys the course. And remember, the link is there. Go and click on it now. That's the last thing I'm going to say, and I'll see you all soon. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you on Sunday, hopefully. Have a great night.